My name is Logan Sampson, and I'll be giving my speech, A New Older Brother. This is my narrative speech. I really struggled with the topic of this speech. I thought that there wasn't much I would enjoy speaking about that was unique to me. Then I remembered that I'm one of the few people to get a new brother. Well, a new older brother. When I was 6 years old, I got a new older brother named Zach, and he was even someone I already knew. In this speech, I will explain how I knew Zach, my relation to him prior to him moving in with us, and the events that led to him becoming a part of our family. As long as I can remember, my brother Austin was close friends with another boy named Zach. Zach would come over to our house and play video games, run around the house, and other things children do. At this time, I was about 5 years old. I was around kids my age at preschool or kindergarten, and I had a few good friends already, but I wanted to be friends with Zach. Now, both my brother and Zach were 4 years older than me, and while they let me play games with them, it was clear to anyone but me that I wasn't Zach's friend, just his friend's little brother. But that's not what I thought. I was convinced that I was Zach's friend, just like my brother. So when it came time to plan my birthday, my parents had me pick a few of my friends to invite to come to the pumpkin patch. I went down the list in my mind. I want Jared to come, I'll have Christian, and Zach. My mom tried to reassure me, Logan, you're not friends with Zach, but we will let your brother invite someone to come with. Now this seems an obvious hint, but as young as I was, I didn't quite catch on. I wanted Zach at my party, and that was the end of it. Eventually, after being upset about not getting to invite Zach along, who might my brother invite but Zach? I was still a little bit bitter over my parents not letting me invite him. That night, while I lay in bed, I thought to myself, I wish Zach could live with us. I didn't know it at the time, but that was exactly what would happen, though not quite how I would expect. A year or two later, I was at wrestling practice with the other elementary school students, including Austin and Zach. Near the end of the practice, my dad came in to take the three of us home. My dad took us to Zach's house, and outside were flashing lights. The police were there, and I soon found out that Zach's mother had died. For a while, Zach was going to stay with us, along with his older sister. I was happy that Zach was around, but it wasn't quite the same. Even as young as I was, I knew we all wouldn't just play around like we used to, at least not for a little while. Time went on, and eventually his sister moved out of our house, but Zach stayed. My parents became Zach's permanent legal guardians. This had me a little confused, because on one side, I had gotten the very thing I wished for, but on the other, this wasn't at all how I would have wanted it to happen. However tragic the circumstances that led to Zach moving in with us, it eventually became something very, very normal to our family, and he became my new, older brother. This is the story of how Zach went from someone I wanted to be friends with to my brother. I never expected Zach to come live with us. It was just something I wished for, at a time when my other wishes including Game Boy Color games falling from the sky, and eating macaroni and cheese for every other meal. Of all the wishes I made, I'm glad this is the one that came true.